My people wonder they say shall never end. Right now they said Oletik have landed herself in a very hot soup due to her recent behavior, you know. They said Oletik have been trying to show everyone in the palace that she can do without all of them. But right now, what she have done have caused the king to order the security guard and everyone that on no account should they allow Oletik enter the palace again without his consent. And they said that message, he did not just say it in the palace. He contacted Oletik's uncle. There is this her uncle who is always looking out for her and her kids. That is the same uncle who came to the palace barely few weeks that she announced the arrival of her twins. The uncle came and was requesting that the oil company, that part of it should be given to the twins. That the king is always giving everything to Tade and everything. But right now that Oletik have children, that the king should give Oletik's children their own portion of property. Remember that uncle. So, and even though they said the king blasted the uncle big time, telling the uncle that you don't have any right to come and tell me how to run my home. These children are my own, and if I want to give them something, you will not be the one to come and remind me to do all of that. So that uncle, they said the uncle have not lived Ileife since then, that the uncle have been around. Some people said that the uncle is staying in that house that the king bought for the wives. Remember, there was an estate they said the king bought for them. During that time, it was serious that they would leave the palace and all of that. Some said it was in Oletik's apartment in that mansion that her uncle is living, while others said he just rented a house in Ileife and was there just to be close to the to Oletik and the palace. So when Oletik did what she did, according to what we heard, they said the king scolded her for not partaking in Ebony's son's birthday celebration. Instead of her to take correction, because her attitude is becoming so noticeable. They said people have been asking questions upon questions, asking the king if Oletik is okay, if everything is fine, because the way she have been withdrawn, the way she have been on her own, have raised so much alarm. She keep claiming that she doesn't like crowd and everything. Meanwhile, she is the one that choose to be among the crowd. Because if not, why would she agree to marry the king? So, with this latest development, they said the money that she requested from the king, that is the 8 million naira, she said she wants to use for the children's upkeep. The king did not give her that money. So the king refused to give her the money, maybe because the king is very angry towards her recent attitude and her always being sad and everything. The only time she is happy is whenever she is in her Instagram account or TikTok or doing those stuffs. Meanwhile, it is not supposed to be so. So, after leaving the palace the way she left the palace, and they said the king was inside the palace that day. It's not as if the king wasn't around, because she might have this excuse that I came to tell you, but you weren't around and all of that. But they said the king was right there in the palace the day that Oletik left that house, left that palace with the twins, without letting anyone know. So when the king summoned that her uncle, the uncle was trying to defend her, because they said the uncle said maybe she just traveled, or maybe there was an emergency, and seeing the king is always a very big protocol. They said the uncle was just trying to kind of defend her, that maybe she did not just leave angrily, because the king is seeing it that due to the fact that they scolded her, and Ebony too did not welcome her when she came to kind of give gift Ebony's son. They said the gift that she bought for Ebony's son, Ebony smashed it on the floor, and the king did not scold Ebony for doing that. Huh. Now, wow. So that was why they said she decided to live in anger. And According to her, she maybe the way she left was kind of trying to explain that since no one cares about her, nobody cares, everybody is against her, let her leave the palace for you people and everything. So they said the uncle was trying to say that it was not like that, even though the uncle said made it clear that she did not tell him that she is leaving the palace, because I believe that if she have told the uncle, maybe the uncle wouldn't have supported her, because the uncle will understand the implication of leaving the palace like that, So for that reason, they said the uncle was trying to defend her. And that was when they said one of the elders who were present there asked the uncle. So even if there was an emergency that she have to travel, why did she bring out the nanny's luggage and kept it where she kept it? Because if it is an emergency, she will just go and come back. Yes, but the way she brought out the woman's luggages and kept it and dumped it in a particular place, it simply means that she knows what she was doing. And whatever decision she have made, she prepared for it. So, and again, they said another elder also asked the uncle, so if Oletik happens to be your wife, whether there is emergency or not, she left the way she left. Are you going to be happy that your wife left the palace or left your house without telling you, okay, look at where I am going, or there is an emergency, and she left with the kids? They said when after asking him that question, at some point he did not know what to answer again, and that was when they say he started telling Kabiesi, please don't be angry. Women sometimes the way they reason, this, that, you know. And at that point, they said, Kabiesi said, okay, that the reason he called you is not because Oletik left, but because of the manner in which she left and her recent attitude, that you should pass this message directly to her, that she shouldn't cross the palace gate again. She shouldn't think about coming back to that palace, even with her kids. Let her stay wherever she have traveled to, whether emergency or no emergency. For the fact that she did not deem it fit to tell the king that, oh, I am leaving the palace or there is an emergency, the king have the right to interpret it in whichever way he deems fit. And to him, Oletik left the palace angrily due to the fact that the king scolded her. And for that reason, she shouldn't think about coming back to the palace again. They said after the king told the uncle to pass that message to her, the king also gave orders that on no account should they allow her enter the palace without his consent. Because these women have formed the habit of leaving and coming in anytime they want to. Remember they said Igbi's own is that she will commit something today. Before you know it, she will run off. She will run away from the palace. After few days, she will come back. They said this time around, if you leave the palace in that manner, the king will give order that before you enter, he must know. And that is the condition they said Oletik have found herself right now. That is if everything we are hearing is the truth. And they said the uncle have been pleading on her behalf, but the king does not care. Allegedly, that is what we are hearing if the information is true. Don't forget that these are all alleged, unverified information making rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact unless we verify them. Thanks for watching. Bye for now. Love you guys.